Blake Lively hired former CIA Deputy Chief of Staff Nick Shapiro.
Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds' powerful super agent appeared on a podcast explaining why he believed Blake Lively instead of Justin Baldoni, is how he called it.
And we have some leaked audio that basically confirms why WME let go of Justin Baldoni.
I applaud Amber 2.0. She is showing us grit and determination.
Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have always been Hollywood's golden couple, but now they're caught in a storm of controversy, with whispers of power plays, a mysteriously failed podcast recording, and a leaked audio scandal. Their legal battle with Justin Baldoni is turning into a full-blown Hollywood thriller. As PR spin, media bias, and industry loyalties come under scrutiny, Reynolds and Lively break their silence with a firm "that's not true." But is the truth on their side, or is this another case of reputation over reality? The stakes are high, and the battle for public perception has just begun.
All right, so everything in the world is just ridiculous. It's pointedly ridiculous, I would say. I mean, I'm no longer believing the things I'm saying. I feel like I am now lying to the public when I cover these things because we're just reaching levels of absurdity that are offending my sensibilities, right? First and foremost, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired former CIA agents with a proven track record of lying to the public, gaslighting the public, to help her with PR.
Hollywood power couple Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively have found themselves at the center of a storm of controversy, prompting them to push back against swirling allegations and narratives. As tensions rise in the legal battle between Lively and actor-director Justin Baldoni, the couple has remained relatively quiet until now. Their recent public response, captured in a tense moment where they reportedly stated "that's not true," has only intensified the debate surrounding the scandal. The controversy initially erupted when Baldoni was dropped as a client by WME super agent Ari Emanuel, allegedly at the behest of Reynolds and Lively. Emanuel later addressed the situation on the Freakonomics podcast, but the recording of the episode mysteriously failed. The failure, a first in the podcast's 15-year history, has led to speculation that efforts were made to suppress Emanuel's comments, which were later leaked by independent journalists.
I caught wind of the Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds. Let the record show for those listening at home, Ari just slit his throat. I mean, it's a fucked up, bad situation that Baldoni, whatever his name is doing. And it's part of it. Now, he was your client too, until until I fired him. Right.
In the leaked recording, Emanuel defended Reynolds and Lively while disparaging Baldoni, mockingly referring to him as baloney and emphasizing his decision to sever ties with the actor. He lauded the couple as really incredible people and dismissed any suggestion of wrongdoing on their part. Critics, however, argue that Emanuel's actions were premature and biased, favoring his most lucrative clients over due process.
I've known Ryan and Blake for over a decade. They're really incredible people. In Hollywood, they have been incredibly successful. People work with them. They've never had any bad mojo out there and treated people badly. They kind of are charitable because we help them with their foundation. They've given tons of money away. If what is alleged in her lawsuit that happened on social media, just because she complained to the studio that things were unhealthy on the set, that he was director and this man was the producer.
Did you hear what he just said? If these things happened on set, online, after she complained on set.
And they did to her what they're being alleged. They're really bad people.
If they did it. Notice how he said, if they did it, then they're really bad people. But here's the problem, Ari. That's the whole point of this court proceeding. Did they actually do that? What has Blake and what have you done to save your career and to kill other pieces like this podcast you didn't even want us to listen? I mean, the hypocrisy here is insane.
The fallout for Baldoni has been severe. His production company, Wayfarer Studios, has reportedly lost multiple deals, leaving his career in jeopardy. While Lively's lawsuit accuses him of misconduct and defamation, Baldoni has countersued for $400 million, alleging an orchestrated smear campaign against him. The battle has grown increasingly public, with PR strategies playing a critical role in shaping public perception.
And they should no longer be out there intimidating people, using social media now and trying to hurt them, and using their what they have been doing prior to it now to go against them.
Did you hear that? Social media, we should all stop, because anything we do is it's clearly Justin's fault. Nothing Blake did is her own responsibility. Is that what you're trying to say, Ari? Because she's your star client? Well, she's not. Her husband is. I'm not afraid of this, man. You are a bozo, and you look like a clown here. Now, some could say you're showing your loyalty, but no, I think it's gonna really actually hurt you in the end. And this is gonna be tar on your face. You're gonna regret this one. And I think that's why you wanted this audio not to actually get released. I do. That's my opinion, though. If you did.
They should just stop, since they think they're innocent, and let the process play itself out.
Just stop, everybody. Just stop. As if anyone could stop the internet. Like, give me a freaking break. You can't stop the internet. And the internet does its own thing. There's no way any one person could have been behind and controlled and pulled all of the strings of everything that Miss Blake Lively is facing.
One of the most surprising developments came when Saturday Night Live took a jab at Lively. During a recent episode, Colin Jost made a pointed joke about her, comparing her dispute with Baldoni to a fictional scenario involving Ukrainian President Zelensky. The joke landed awkwardly, suggesting a shift in how the industry views Lively. Previously a media darling, she now faces scrutiny from unexpected corners.
Hey, here's a good one. This is a good one. In what wild world do we live in where you can go from Zelensky, the president of Ukraine, to Blake Lively in the punchline, all within 10 seconds? Have a listen.
Zelensky was asked to leave the White House. Then he appeared on Fox News and said he thinks he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Justin Baldoni saying, I'd love to work with Blake again.
All right, so which one is Justin Baldoni? Which one is Blake? And now, life is inherently political, and I don't want to spend too much time talking about this. I'll save this for tomorrow morning's Rush Hour podcast. But I believe Justin Baldoni is Ukraine here. He was invaded. What do you expect him to do? He was trying to protect his show. Right now, it's not a perfect comparison, but whenever you explain a joke, you kill it, right? Because the reason why we laugh at things is we take an assumption and then we sort of bury that assumption with the new information. That's what the punchline is. Now, they sort of give the punchline away by cutting to the face of Baldoni a little early there, but the tension being built between something very serious, such as Ukraine and the U.S. Not receiving the peace deal that they were hoping, and the chaos that happened breaking Friday afternoon, and all of the mess that spilled over, that is the setup to relationships don't always work out. And Trump and Zelensky are about as happily together as Baldoni and Blake Lively.
Adding to the intrigue, Lively has hired a crisis PR specialist with a controversial background, one of the intelligence officers involved in dismissing the Hunter Biden laptop scandal as Russian disinformation. This move has raised questions about the extent to which Lively is working to control the media narrative. Critics argue that this contradicts her earlier condemnation of Baldoni for employing his own PR team to defend himself.
But this is an actual headline right now in Variety. It reads that Blake Lively hires CIA alum for crisis PR in legal battle with Justin Baldoni. And there are a lot of implications here, and I love this story simply because it combines what I love most, politics and culture, and I want to explain a lot to you. We learn in this article that Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have moved to hire a PR crisis manager with deep government ties. As her legal battle with Justin Baldoni escalates, she's quietly working with Nick Shapiro, the CIA's former deputy chief of staff and senior advisor to former director John Brennan. So this guy, high up, just about as high up as you could possibly get if he is the deputy chief of staff to John Brennan, who was the former CIA director, who makes me very nervous, so I'm going to tell you why. So apparently her legal team says, they've given a quote to Variety. They say, the litigation team for Miss Lively retained Mr. Shapiro to advise on the legal communications strategy for the ongoing sexual harassment and retaliation lawsuit occurring in the Southern District of New York. Okay, that's what Wilkie, Farr, and Gallagher, that's the excuse that they're giving to the public.
Mainstream media outlets have also been called into question. Recent court rulings have been framed as victories for Lively, despite legal setbacks in her case. Some analysts believe this is evidence of media bias, with certain outlets allegedly working to protect Lively's image. The parallels to past high-profile Hollywood legal battles, such as Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, have not gone unnoticed.
And here's the same problem that we've seen with other people, like Amber Heard and also Meghan Markle. If you're accusing someone, especially publicly, specifically publicly, of any sort of IST or DV type subject matter harassment of any kind, you must be extraordinarily careful and have evidence. Because if not, if you try to pull an Amber Heard or a Meghan on Oprah, then you have zero evidence to back up your claims and you have exaggerated them even the tiniest little bit. You lose all credibility. And there's an abundance of evidence on top of it in all these situations. Markle, Heard, Lively, apparently. There is an abundance of evidence that actually demonstrates the opposite may be true, that support whoever you're accusing and show no wrongdoing or a lack of potential wrongdoing. And then on top of it, you don't have any proof to back it up, then not only will you lose out, but you can be held liable for defamation and loss of professional opportunities due to reputation damage. It's very serious, and it's very disappointing when people do this, because it undermines the accusations and the seriousness of the situation.
While Reynolds has largely stayed out of the public fray, his presence alongside Lively during these turbulent times has not gone unnoticed. His own past relationships have also been dragged into the conversation. Rumors about his previous marriage to Scarlett Johansson and alleged infidelity with Lively resurfaced following Jost's SNL joke. Although neither Johansson nor Reynolds has ever addressed these rumors, they add another layer of intrigue to the unfolding drama.
Oh my goodness, it's getting crazier and crazier by the day. But let's take a moment to unpack this moment, because I'm gonna play the clip in a second, but let's again set the tone. It was a couple weeks ago, Saturday Night Live had its 50th anniversary, as we've all seen, and here was Ryan Reynolds with Blake Lively. How are you doing, Ryan? Everything okay?
Reynolds, how's it going?
Great. Why? What have you heard?
Her playing, why? Is there something wrong? Yeah, clearly, guys, the joke didn't hit. But now, here we come. Saturday Night Live is back. Now, they focused a lot on this Zelensky-Trump meeting, and so that sets up the tone. So I don't want to hear about the argument in the comments. I got my own thoughts, but whatever. Here it is, queuing up the ultimate Blake Lively bash.
Trump repeatedly scolded Zelensky, telling him, "You have real problems." Yeah, man, he's in a war.
I have to offer commentary here. That's true.
No one's asking to borrow missiles so they can take the party to the next level. Zelensky was asked to leave the White House. Then he appeared on Fox News and said he thinks he can still salvage his relationship with President Trump, which is like Justin Baldoni saying, "I'd love to work with Blake again."
Damn.
The case itself has become one of the most widely discussed in Hollywood. A recent court hearing included new parties, such as the New York Times and PR firm Street Relations Incorporated, highlighting how deeply intertwined the media is in this legal dispute. Lively's legal team has expressed concerns about Baldoni's public statements, arguing that they unfairly influenced public perception. However, critics argue that Lively was the one who initially brought media attention to the case, making her objections appear hypocritical.
Like, you hired a crisis PR person because that's what you, here it was. This is what you, allegedly, this is what Team Blake leaked back on August 13th as things were brewing. Before it really got to a head, right as it was about to, Justin hired a crisis PR team because he was hearing the rumblings. There were things leaking about him that were false. So he hired a crisis PR, and then Blake's team allegedly found out and leaked it. He retained the service of Melissa Nathan, who represented Johnny Depp during the Amber Heard trial, almost seemingly trying to shame him. Like, oh, look what he's resorted to. Johnny Depp's crisis PR one. You know, the one that lied about Amber is how I read this, which is just like, come on. Good for him is what I saw that says, yeah, good for him. He could use the help, just like Johnny did. But they tried to weaponize this against him.
As the legal battle escalates, public sentiment appears to be shifting. While Lively and Reynolds have traditionally been beloved by fans, some are beginning to question the narrative being presented. The leaked audio of Emmanuel's podcast appearance has only fueled skepticism, suggesting that Hollywood power players may be working behind the scenes to shape the story.
So if you remember, Ari Emanuel had come out and there were headlines out everywhere that he is Blake and Ryan's ride or die, that he had fired Baldoni who was that again? Oh yeah, Baldoni. I fired him. I got rid of him because I'm the ride or die for Ryan and Blake. And obviously those headlines and the public backlash freaked out Ari Emanuel a little bit, because wouldn't you know it, all of a sudden that podcast episode wasn't recorded and doesn't exist. Very interesting, right? Now, this is another example. I spoke about SEO manipulation, which is search engine optimization manipulation, that Blake Lively's PR team used yesterday, which is also a tactic many companies use. I'm just bringing to light the manipulation that happens. But today, we're looking at what likely is someone that was paid off to make something go away. But we know that in today's day and age, nothing really actually disappears. We are in a day and age where maybe potentially someone in the audience was recording. And it almost sounds like that, whether it was a clip from the original audio and it just was bad audio, or someone in the audience had recorded it. But someone has a clip that backs up those original claims that Ari Emanuel had said, that he is their ride or die.
Ultimately, the controversy raises larger questions about fairness, accountability, and the influence of PR in Hollywood scandals. If Reynolds and Lively truly believe they are being unfairly portrayed, their response, including their firm denial captured in that serious moment, will need to be backed by clear evidence. On the other hand, if Baldoni's claims gain traction, it could mark a turning point in how the industry handles high-profile disputes.
Now, social media is a really good thing at times because it lets people, stars, connect with their fans. But these two guys used it in an evil way, if that's true. And they should no longer be out there intimidating people, using social media now and trying to hurt them and using what they have been doing prior to it now to go against them. They should just stop, since they think they're innocent, and let the process play itself out. These are good people who've been doing good business for decades. They have never had any bad press about them, and all the people that work with them like them.
For now, the case remains an evolving saga, with both sides vying for control of the narrative. As more details emerge, the public will have to decide whom to believe, and whether the truth is being deliberately obscured by Hollywood's most powerful figures.
Of why somebody like Nick Shapiro, who Blake and Ryan have hired, might want to be launching a crisis PR firm after they leave the CIA. And he did hold on to his former security clearances. Now, he no longer holds on to those clearances because guess what? He lied to the public in a rather egregious way. He was one of the 51 former senior intelligence agents who signed that letter to gaslight us all in 2020, claiming that Hunter's laptop was Russian disinformation, which was just retrospectively an insane lie, an unbelievably bold lie. And then when that lie eventually fell apart, he had his clearance revoked. Again, I'm reading this from the Variety article. Says, quote, Shapiro is not without controversy. He was one of the group of 51 former senior intelligence officials who signed the widely cited and subsequently criticized 2020 open letter stating that the Hunter Biden laptop, quote, has all the classic earmarks of a Russian information operation. And that, my friends, is exactly why Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds have hired him, because he has proven that he is willing to lie without flinching, that he will straight up lie to protect his clients, he will lie to gaslight the public, and he has proven successful under that model.
As the scandal unfolds, the battle for truth and reputation rages on. With Hollywood's power players pulling strings behind the scenes, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's denial only fuels the fire. Will the truth prevail, or will PR spin shape the narrative? One thing is certain, this drama is far from over.
Blake Lively continues to make headlines.
You think I want to make you pay?
This was my first time as a villain.
We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. That wraps up today's video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.